In this video, I want to show you how to create your first project in Biscuit, and along the way, I'll give you a walkthrough of Biscuit and how to use it for your app. Now, if you have not logged in before, you will see this screen, so you can click on Continue with Google and log in with your email address. And as soon as you have logged in, you will land on the Biscuit dashboard or Biscuit home page. As you can see, I'm already logged into my dashboard. I have used this account to create few projects in the past, and therefore you can see them on the screen. But if this is your first time, you may not have any projects there. If you come on the screen and click on New Project, you will be taken to a screen where you have to enter your prompt. Now, this is actually similar to any app builders that you may have used in the past. But if this is your first time, it's your chance to actually enter your app ID. Now, to get you started, we have given you some examples. Now, if you have an idea, then it's amazing. You can simply start typing it out. If you do not have any idea and you're just exploring Biscuit at this point, you can go ahead and select any of these apps that you want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and select To-Do List app. Now, To-Do List app is a very simple way to explain some of the basic concepts of what happens in an app. So it's easy to give this as an example, but I do want to say that Biscuit does work for more complex apps, and we will be making guides available on how to create these complex apps in Biscuit. So let's go ahead with the To-Do List app, and before we enter the prompt, I want to actually highlight this feature, which is attaching files or images. Now, if you want to give some references to some screenshots that you might have of another app, you can go ahead and attach them. So you can upload those images and PDF files here, or even document files, and that AI can use as reference. So for now, I'm going to keep it simple and just enter a text-based prompt. I'm going to click on Enter here. Alright, as you enter your first prompt, you will notice that AI gets into the thinking mode. As I'm seeing, it's thinking and it's giving me some options here. Now, this is nice. I'll get to see different options in terms of features. So what would you like to have in your app? So here it is suggesting me save thoughts for later. Sure, I want that in an app. Find notes by keyword, browse notes by date, bring notes back later. Sure, these are the things I would love to have. And if you want to add one more feature, let's say share notes with others, you can click on it and it will be part of your app. If you do not want certain features, for example, you don't really need, let's say, bring notes back later, you can simply uncheck that box and it will build only the top 3 that you have selected. And one more thing here you can do is you can click on Suggest More. When you click on Suggest More, the AI tries to think about new features that can be added to your app. If you're in a phase where you're exploring what to build, Suggest More is a very good feature to have, because then you think with AI what kind of features you can add to your app. For now, I'm just going to stick to the top 3 and click on Next. Alright, as you can see, the chat has moved on to one side. We have got a canvas here and the screen seems to be building. Now, this is what we call as canvas. Your first designs ever will be labeled as first designs, and we put it on canvas for you to see. And you can see that it is actually building it live, and it's quite satisfying to actually watch this. Now, I can see that AI is going ahead and building each component out. So this is the search bar, and now we got other components being built live. Now, the idea behind this is to give you a phase where you can go ahead and explore, you can sketch out your designs. You have multiple views in the same canvas. If you add more features, those views will line up on the canvas and you will get a bird's eye view of what is going to happen in your app. So this is an interesting little feature when you are doing some exploration on new idea. So while the AI is building the app, I want to give you a quick overview of what's happening on the screen. On the right hand side, you have the chat. You can click on New Chat and start a new chat thread. And in Biscuit, we support multiple chat threads. The second thing you can also do is click on Edit and visually edit the screens that you see on the app. So this is quite interesting because you can select a specific UI component and then ask AI to make some changes to that. And you can also see the history of changes that AI has made. So this is basically your project level history. And as you can see that AI is building stuff for me. That's interesting. It's telling me that your screens are coming together and they are built. Now, as you can see, the screens are ready, and here the next step would be to build the app. Now, there are two different concepts that are happening here. You get the canvas first. Canvas is more like a sketch. Imagine you're in Figma or on a whiteboard where you're sketching out things of what you need in an app. That's something that we're trying to replicate here with the canvas feature. So you get to see all the screen apps, and you can actually make changes based on your requirements in this specific screen. So that's possible to do already. For example, let's say you go on this edit button and you click on this 2 reminders ready. And suppose we don't want this component in the UI. I will just say remove this. Click on enter. And then when you come back to chat, you will notice that this particular UI is being referenced, or this particular app screen is being referenced, and then AI is going to go ahead and remove that. Now when the AI is working, on the right hand side, you will get to see this block where it says it's building and it is going to fix what you have asked to fix. And it seems like it's gone, right? So now it will tell me a confirmation. But in the UI, I can already see that the element has been removed. So let me show you one cool feature that Biscuit has. When you click on the screen and you click on explore, you get to see this different layouts, different styles and new color schemes and surprise me. So basically, if you do not like the design that is there, you can go ahead and say, I want to explore different layouts. When you click on different layouts, it will give you different options, various options, and you can see them here on the right hand side. It's actually building them. So let's wait for it. And I'm going to move this here a little bit so that we can do a comparison, and let's see what AI is going to give us. Alright, it is giving me one screen which is more compact, another screen which is list minimal. So this is one variation. Then we also have note, list and cards. So there will be a third variation as well. Now you can choose your layout based on your preference, and accordingly it will go ahead and build it. The way to choose this layout is basically selecting one of these items. So if you like the compact version or minimal version, you can select one of those and deselect the ones that you do not want. Alright, so what I'm going to do here for now is go ahead and delete all this, and I want the original one to be as it is, and I want to show you the next steps on how to go ahead and build it. Let's suppose you are happy with the output that you have done a lot of iterations on your canvas, and now you're ready to build. You can click on this button called build, and you can select which views you're going ahead with, and I will click on build here. Now Biscuit comes with built-in database. In order to build this database, you are going to require some data in it. We give you 3 options here. Number 1, you can actually generate a sample data. But sometimes you might be building an app where you have some images already, where you have some PDF files or Excel files. So the data is ready with you, and depending on your app's requirement, you may have already got that. So in that case, you can click on upload files, and here you can upload PDF, CSV or Excel, and then you can also import from website. For now, I'm going to select generate sample data, and then AI automatically comes up with sample data for you to see so that your app does not look empty. So you will start seeing the sample data. So in the preview, I can see all the notes that are added. These are not something that you have added yourself. This is something that AI has come up with and basically give you an example of how a sample data would look like. Now at this point, you may want to test your app. So let's go ahead and see if this app actually works. Let me add my first note and click on enter or save. And that note gets added here. In the top, you can toggle between different device sizes. So for example, here you can see desktop, tablet, and you can also see it on mobile. So how this would look like on mobile. And then next to it, you can see 3 different users for now. So one is yourself, which is the logged in user. The second type of user is anonymous user. So if a user lands on your app for the first time, they have not logged in. So what will be the experience like? Now there are 2 ways to go about this. One is, this is a default view. So every time somebody gets the access to your app, this is what they will see. But you can also build a nice landing page and then allow the user to sign in. The third user is basically another type of user, which is not you. And here you can also see that there is a sample data being added, and you can go back to yourself and see how this app will look like. Now you can go ahead and test any of these features. Now once your application has been built, you are ready to publish it. Where would you go ahead and publish that from? So in Biscuit, we have this button called publish at the top right corner. When you click on publish, you will be asked for the website address. Now this particular URL, which is nodestackhub.biscuit.so. Biscuit is spelled as BSCT. This is basically hosted on Biscuit's own domain. And what do we mean by domain? So you know this website. Basically, you will have xyz.com, abc.com, or let's say biscuit.so. These are all domain names. If you have a custom domain, you can publish on your custom domain as well. But for that, we require you to publish for the first time on our domain so that we get this public URL, and then you can go ahead and add your custom domain. At this stage, if you want, you can also change it. So for example, instead of calling it notes tag, if I would want to call it card keep app, So this URL is already taken, but I can do the card keep hub. Alright, this URL is still available. I will click on continue. And here you can add a lot more information about your website. You can see that the app icon is automatically generated, but if you click on it, you can upload your own image. So if you have designed a logo already, you can go ahead and add that here, or you can choose one of the available assets that you have here. Now I don't have a logo yet, but then I'm okay with whatever Biscuit has suggested. So I'll keep it as it is, and I'm okay with the app name as well. So I'll leave that, and you get to see a nice preview of all the information that has been added. After this, you can click on continue. Now there are a few things that are happening here. You have a list of things that are ready before publishing. So you have got the URL, you've got the website info, website access, and then safety check. We do run a background safety check to make sure that there are no vulnerabilities, there are no obvious security risks and issues inside your app. So we do run a safety check on your app before you can publish it. And once you're all ready, you can click on publish. And that's it. Your app is now live. You can go ahead and copy this URL, open in a new tab, and let's see how this app looks like. Now for the first time, you will have to sign in because we have got that part of the flow. So let me complete the sign in here. So this is my app. This is actually my view. If I want, I can add a second note. And this is a fully functioning app which is published, and you can share this link with anyone you like. Now remember, we saw that custom domain option. You can go ahead and edit that. If you have a custom domain, you click on it and you can click on add domain. So let's assume you have cardkeep.com and you click on add. So with this, we provide you with the information that is required in order to set this up at your domain provider. Now, if you have taken this from, let's say, GoDaddy or porkbun.com, you may have to go there and click on domain management and enter the details that we have provided from here, and then you can do the setup. Now let me show you a couple of things when your app is actually live. You get to see analytics. So anytime there's a visitor, because it is live right now and I'm the only visitor, so you'll be able to see all the analytics that are important to your application. On the left hand side navigation, you get an overview. In the overview, you can see that we just published this app. You've got a visitor here, so that's the analytics here. We'll talk about revenue in a different video, but we also support payments in Biscuit, and it also shows you some important stuff that is required for your app maintenance. When you click on app, you get to see all the workflows. Now workflows is basically a visual representation of the logic inside your app. And when you click on data, this is where your data is going to be. So for example, you want to see notes, you can see that how many people have added notes and what those notes are. So that's part of the data. You can also change some brand colors. So you have brand kit here, and then all your chats are in this section here, and any assets. For example, you may have your app logo, or you may have some canvases that you had in the past. For example, here, all these assets or artifacts that you require for your app will be there inside the library. So that's the end of this video. I wanted to show you how to create your first app on Biscuit and how to get it published. If you have any questions or doubts, you can actually send us a feedback from here. So if you click on this feedback, and this comes directly to our Slack, and we will check it out. All right, that's all. Thanks for watching.